Hello everyone and welcome to another episode. We're back here at the Kodash Bazaar again, shock horror. But this is actually the last time, funnily enough. This is the last time we come back here and speak to Zerai the Learner because we've pretty much finished the story arc here in Vabbi. There's nothing else really to do. We've rallied the princes. Their military. It's not entirely clear, I must say, what their military is doing now. But I guess they're kind of fighting off the Marganites that are starting to appear and all the demons that are bleeding in from the realm of torment. And they'll sort of all be fighting each other, and maybe the Jinn are helping them as well. But yeah, we've rallied the princes, and if you remember before, Cormier has kind of not been in the plot very much through the Vabbi arc. She's kind of been back in Istan, resting all the way back in Istan. Quite feels like a million years ago we were here. But this is where she's been, no doubt, training the Sunspears and stuff to help out, because they were scared that Kournan was actually going to return the assault on Istan. But yeah, Cormier's probably been back there doing all that kind of stuff. And now that we've finished in Vabbi, pretty much, she's actually reintroduced to the plot, and some pretty reasonably exciting stuff's going to happen. So, crossing the Desolation. Oh yes, of course, and Varesh is running off to the Desolation. We don't know why, but Zerai is about to tell us. He says, "You have stayed the darkness for now, but the real threat, Varesh, journeys across the Desolation, seeking the mouth of torment, where the five gods struck down Abaddon. No doubt Varesh left her demonic forces behind in preparation for an attack. Should you get across the Desolation and break through her rear vanguard, you should catch her relatively undefended. However, no mortal soul can survive the sulphur clouds that have stripped the Desolation of all life. You must find a way across the Desolation. Other than Palawa Joko, our libraries have no record of any living creature surviving such a journey. The sands hold nothing but great worms and bleached bones. Cormier recently sent word she needs to speak with you. Perhaps she has information. Will you go find her?" Alright, and our required hero here is Zed Shadowhoof. Remember ages ago I said to you guys that Turai's procession, where we met all of the centaurs in one of the bonus episodes, if we kept going north we'd reach the Desolation, so there you can kind of see Zed's link with this. So it's nice to see Zed come back into the plot a little bit more, because we haven't really done much speaking with him since we were back here in Kournan, really, have we? But here we go. So let's go back to the Sunspears Sanctuary, all the way home. Well, not quite home, but back into Kournan. See, again, this is what one of the things I like about Nightfall. It doesn't feel like a world tour, does it? You're always going back to locations that you've already been. And it just makes it feel a lot more natural, the progression of the story. Anyway, let's go out into the command post, where Cormier will be waiting for us, which is pretty great, I think. We haven't seen her for ages. And also, as you guys might know, I'm filming this on the 6th anniversary of Guild Wars, and they've added out all this new stuff, which I might, hopefully, be able to show you guys later in the series, because there's something that they've added, a specific tonic that I think would be really good for this Let's Play, but we'll see how it goes. Anyway, so here's Cormier, waiting with us. How's she doing? And she's obviously got a blindfold now. Let's speak to her. She says, "The journey of life is best taken with good company." Yeah, we haven't heard that for a while, have we, guys? Anyway, crossing the Desolation. "You got my message? Good. We need to find a way northwest through the Desolation, but I fear my time on this world is nearing an end." Okay. "My nightmares have grown stronger." Okay, so remember, everyone was having nightmares. "Stronger even than Melani's. They tear at my soul. I know not how much longer I can hold it together. You see, my eyes were back in Gandhara. Never mind." So she said this line here, I think, is for players who didn't choose to go with Margaret the Sly, and they wouldn't quite know that she'd been blinded. Anyway, she says, "I need you to take Zed and speak with Mirza. See if there's any way to cross the deadly sulphur. I will see what other information Narashi and the others can dig up." So Mirza, if you remember, he's actually the leader of the last free pride of centaurs here. So I think it's quite cool that we go and speak to him, considering that we did all those quests to become friends with him. Technically, he considers us a part of his pride now, which is pretty cool. Anyway, so let's go up into the Turai's procession. And let's see what this guy knows about moving across the Desolation. I mean, he lives close to it, so who knows? Who knows? Oh yeah, and in other news, there's a big competition going on at the moment where you can make a video to try and convince your friends and so on to be interested and to have a look at Guild Wars 2. And if you make a really good video, you can actually win like a weekend away to go to Seattle to ArenaNet's new offices and actually play the game with the developers and stuff. So I mean, if you guys are thinking, if you guys think that's an awesome reward, then go for it. It looks like a really, really good competition. Okay, Mirza, hello. And you might remember in the bonus episode I said we could be coming back to this guy. It's because now that Nightfall's come, The ancestor tree is once again in trouble, as we'll soon see. Anyway, Mirza, hello. See, he's got 2 quests for us. Total corruption, this new one. We centaurs are proud and foolish. We were too busy fighting each other to realise we'd been targeted for slavery until it was too late. Our numbers are few now, but our hearts are strong. We gather around the ancestor tree and will prepare to strike back at Varesh. We will free our brethren. See, I wonder how the slavery and stuff's going now in Kournan, now that Varesh has pretty much forsaken the nation. She's just left. She's going on like a pilgrimage through the Desolation. So I'm wondering what's going on here. All 3 of her generals have been taken out. Kayet we killed, Bale we killed, and Morgan's joined us. So who knows what's going on in Kournan. Probably just falling into chaos. She doesn't care about her people. Anyway, he says, the Desolation, it is death to step within its sulphur haze for man and runner alike. So by runner he means himself. That's kind of what the centaurs call themselves, I guess. Nothing living can pass through. Our people know better. But there was an ancient undead king. Perhaps you have heard of him. Palawa Joko. Oh yes, we have heard of him many times, many times. He enslaved our people to serve the undead ranks in his dark bone palace. It is rumoured he even tamed the great worms beneath the sulphurous wastes to do his bidding. Meet me in the Desolation and I'll show you. Huh, okay, so taming the worms. But this isn't much help to us really, because Palawa Joko was killed a long time ago. We'll see how it goes. So we're actually going to be going north into Turai's possession. I've spent a reasonable amount of time here, but we've never really gone very far north. But for the first time we are. You can already see, like, this is kind of corner. Oh no, now it looks a bit more desolate here. And it gets worse and worse and worse. You see, can you see these things in the trees? Like, you see these on the concept art for the loading screen? I have no idea what they're supposed to be. But they're all over the place in the Desolation. So there's lots of Kournans up here. I'm wondering if these are just Kournans patrolling because we're in corner, or because they're Kournans that have been left behind by Varesh to sort of deal with us. You'd think at this point, though, she wouldn't really care about using Kournans anymore, and she'd just be sticking with the Marganites. Have you noticed how it started off with just Kournans, and then it was Kournans and a few Marganites in the group, and now it's just, we've been coming up against entire groups of Marganites. Morgan was saying that they were low on troops. Actually, do you know what I think a bit of a missed opportunity is? That they could have had Morgan sort of telling us all of Varesh's plans and really helping us out and figuring out where we're going to go and where she ends up. And like how to catch her and what her weaknesses are and stuff. But you never really get to experience that very much. I mean, he does tell us that she's going through the Desolation quite quickly, but he doesn't tell us why, or he doesn't really help us figure out how to follow her. Anyway, I believe the way to go is through here. Yeah, across this bridge. So, in the Desolation, some of the enemies, we've seen a few of them already. We'll probably see a few more as we go through. Some of the enemies we'll see a lot, actually, are the stone shard messes and stuff. All the massive earth elementals. They seem to just thrive in the Desolation, which kind of makes sense since it's... I mean, they're not really living things, are they? They're just kind of rock turned to life for magic. Magically animated. And over there you can see some hostile djinn. If you've been reading the descriptions for my videos, you might have actually noticed I've been talking about the djinn quite a lot recently in them. They talk about how the djinn are kind of, in ancient times, really powerful wizards and stuff used to bind djinn to protect certain areas. And then when they're when these wizards ended up dying, the djinn were just sort of left hostile to everything in certain areas. Which I think is a pretty awesome story, actually. A nice little bit of backstory for the djinn. What I'm trying to say is that could be why they're there. I mean... Oh, I've gone the wrong way. Okay, nearly there now. You can really see that the terrain's changed quite a lot. The difference is more pronounced, though, the second we get through here. Here are some very old buildings. I think these are from, like, the dynastic era, like a long time ago. If you remember, Palawa Joko was defeated by a man called Turai Ossa. And what he did was he led a load of people. He ended up becoming king of all of Elona. And then, after a while, he decided he wanted to go north, and he led loads of people away on a pilgrimage. And I believe it was those people that ended up building these things, which are now in the Desolation, in the Sulphur, where nobody can live. So you just see a hell of a lot of ruins. Here we go. This is the Gate of Desolation. And gates, outposts and missions being called gates from here on out, guys, kind of become a little bit of a theme. We'll see a lot of gates. But yeah, here, see, you got lots of dynastic spirits. Who says, I remember ancient dynasties of proud kings fighting over noble titles. They're all gone now, no more than sand on the exposed seabed. Now, remember that he says seabed as well, because this did used to be a sea, just like the Crystal Desert. In fact, the Desolation is connected to the Crystal Desert. I'll go into that more later, I don't want to get ahead of myself. But this is definitely one of my favourite areas in the whole game, just because of how much history you kind of see as you're walking around. It's just like a lost, ruined empire that you're walking through, and there's nothing left but ghosts. It is truly amazing. Anyway, another spirit who said the same thing. I fear the powers rising in the Crystal Desert. I feel Palawa Joko's fingers in the sand, counting the hours we have left on this world. But Palawa Joko was defeated many years ago. This makes no sense. Okay. Oh, I need to meet with Mirza on the outskirts. Whoops, I wasn't actually supposed... Oh, no, I was. Okay, so we just come through this outpost here. With these massive pillars and stuff. Let's see, here's an ascension pilgrim. This was one of the people who followed Turai Ossa. Who says, I cannot see the light anymore. Father, can you hear me? No, Father cannot hear you. You are stuck on this world for some reason. You never made it to the underworld. I'll try not to talk to too many people too quick. The Desolation is littered with these spirits, and I'll slowly talk to them as we go further through. Okay, so the first explorable area of the Desolation is the Sulphurous Wastes. But we can't go very far here. Why, you might ask? Because of the sulphur. So some parts of the sand you can go on, other parts you cannot. Some parts will just kill you instantly if you walk on them. Look at that skybox. I really don't like the skyboxes on Guild Wars mostly, but this looks pretty awesome, doesn't it? Just a huge open plain. We don't see enough of this. This is why I like the Jade Sea as well. Anyway, so Mirza is here. There's some Jinn. Lots of Awaken. These are all undead. We'll learn more about why there's so many undead here soon enough. And what is this? This is a worm spore, some light coming out of it, and some huge beasts in the sand. An awesome mechanic. Lots of people love this about Nightfall. Anyway. Okay, Mirza, what the hell is going on? What are we looking at here, buddy? Do not step within its bounds. Look, do you see? Those are the very worms Palawa Joko was said to have controlled. Perhaps they hold the answers you seek. Only Palawa Joko knows. But beware the deceit of the undead king. He would bargain with men's souls, promise 3 wishes and granting none, or granting them in ways that only served his own wishes. Find Palawa Joko, if you must find a way across the Desolation. But beware deals made with such a 2-legged devil. Wait, find Palawa Joko, how? This makes no sense. He's dead. He's gone. Okay, so where are we going now? Who can shed some light on this? Back to the command post. Back to speak to Cormier, I believe. Let's go. And Cormier's talking about the end of her life and stuff. Is this all going to culminate in one moment, perhaps? Okay, Cormier, what's going on? Everybody's freaking me out a little bit. Cormier. Palawa Joko, the Scourge of Vabbi, was defeated in the Battle of Jahai by Turai Ossa. But that was not the end of his story. Bum ba da ba. It seems he could not be killed. After the battle, it is said members of Turai Ossa's elite guard formed the Order of Whispers. So that's where the Order of Whispers come from. These great hunters broke Joko's body and used powerful magic to bind him within a great tomb. A great tomb? They eventually built a monument commemorating the victory over the site. My dreams have told me we must travel to this tomb and see what awaits us. And yeah, you might have guessed it, that is exactly the place just out north of here. The place we've walked past a million times but never really paid much attention to. Let's go pay some attention to it, shall we, guys? Yeah, sounds good. Okay, so the Jahai Bluffs. And it was just up the north of here, wasn't it? Okay, Jahai Bluffs. What have we got? Yeah, and it was just up the north here. This kind of monkey face thing. This was where we met Margrid and the Master of Whispers, actually, if you remember. But I never read the plaque. I never did it, just because we do it at this moment. Okay, and we got Cormier and Shahai the Cunning. Remember Shahai the Cunning, that's actually Margrid's sister. So Cormier says, I fear my time on this world is nearing an end. The closer we get to the realm of torment, the more I feel my mind bound to its power. I really hope I can read all of this out in time. Okay, Cormier, don't be so grim, you're worrying me. Shahai says, should I help you get back to the Sunspears sanctuary? Why have you brought us here? She says, no, Shahai, you have done enough. My nightmares have led me to this place many times. Why this place? Can we get Palawa here? Whoa, what is that? Ah, I can feel Abaddon in my soul, in my mind. Jesus Christ, that's a torment rift. I will not let this darkness consume me here. Oh my god. And then there you go. Cormier vanishes. Cormier has vanished into the torment rift. This is one of those moments I wish it could have been better, but there you go. No, Cormier, what dark magic is this? I must return to the sanctuary at once and report this. Look around and see why she led us here. Okay, so maybe not as dramatic as it could have been, but that's Cormier's been swallowed by torment. That's it. Gone. Bye-bye. I consider her to be dead now from this point on. A wreck of a woman who tried to lead the Sunspears to victory, but she died after being blinded. Very sad story. But yeah, there you go. She's gone. Bye-bye, Cormier. Right, okay. So our next objective is to examine the monument to Palawa Joko's defeat. Cormier brought us here for a reason. I wonder what it was. What were her dreams telling her? Okay, let's have a look. This monument commemorates the defeat of Palawa Joko. Whoa, what? Oh my, here we go. So here's Palawa Joko. And he bows to us. So he's not gone. He says, ah, free at last. Greetings, mortal. I am Palawa Joko, the Scourge of Vabbi.
His name is Turai Ossa. This is his greatest battle.
Yes, okay guys, so the next episode will be from the bonus mission pack, and it will be looking at the battle between Palawa Joko and Turai Ossa over 200 years ago. So this was about the same time that Shiro was slain back in Cantha. I know a lot of you have never seen the mission, so hopefully it'll be a good episode. A lot of people like the other ones, and they're really fun to play as well, so join me next time, and I hope you enjoyed the episode.